What's up guys, and welcome back to episode 8 of Feed the Beast Interactions. Between episodes, I didn't get a huge amount done. I had to turn this boiler back down because I ran out of fuel again. Running it at 30% at the moment, which is just enough to power these 2 turbines. I think I'm going to have to build another stack of these coke ovens. Which isn't too bad, but I don't really want to worry about it right now. Built a couple of new machines. We've got an autoclave, a macerator, and a mixer, which we'll be using a bit later on today. Still didn't power the EBF. But, mostly just made that as something to do while I was waiting for the brine last episode. But we will be using that a lot soon. I made learning chickens. I haven't quite finished breeding them yet because I ran out of seeds. But we'll get on that soon. And these you can just fluid extract for a bit of experience. Just makes it easier to repair tools and stuff like that. I've just been eating the lotuses so far for experience, and this is just a bit more consistent. Plus the extractor that you need to use this is actually a quest reward for the quest for getting the chicken, so it just made sense to get the machine for free as well. It wasn't particularly difficult to craft, it was just the autoclave with a 10 to 10 smart chicken and 10,000 experience. And I just ate lotuses and used this stone drum with a XP drain on top of it to collect the experience. I also started building out this side of the base just a little bit, so we can start putting magic stuff in here. I want to separate it all out and theme the areas a bit more eventually, but this is somewhat of a temporary setup for now. I think Botania, I'm going to maybe knock this wall through and try and make a somewhat outdoor or natural looking area to do Botania in. I think that'd be quite nice. And then Thorncraft and Blood Magic in these areas. I've got plenty of space if I plan to build this into a tower. I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to do about that yet. I might just bring this down a bit once we get some more astral sorcery tech, and we don't really... Once you get collector crystals and stuff, you don't need to be up so high, so maybe I'll bring it down to like this level or this level, and we won't have to build the tower quite as high then. I moved all of the magic stuff and magic related stuff in here, so we'd have some room to work with today. And I built this. This isn't something that I designed. This is again from the quest book for automating Nacra. We need this for a lot of different recipes, especially for like it's gating Botania pretty much in the quest book, and it's really noisy, so I just got a sound dampener with some of these in here, and all it does is it should dispense mana in there and a gold nugget, and then that just sits there for a while, and then takes it out, puts it in there, should grab a bucket of mana, and there we go. I just stole the nugget, but yeah. So yeah, we're gonna get started on Botania today. So we're gonna need Nacra blocks. It looks like leads into living wood, and concrete or living rock. And this is where the mixer comes in that I built earlier. So for the Nacra, it's half a bucket of Nacra, 5 chiseled stone, and some gold nuggets. And then for the concrete, it is just water, stone dust, and clay dust. That should be really easy to make up. We should have absolutely everything that we need to be getting on with that right away. I'll just grab some gold out of here so we can make some nuggets. I'm assuming that this chiseled stone that I've been using for the base will work just fine. Yeah, there we go. It'll just take a moment to make all of this up. So I finished making up some Nacra. I ended up making up a bit more of this than I meant to, but It looks like it's used mainly for arcane stone from Thorncraft, which gates quite a few things, including pretty much blood magic in its entirety and some arcane pedestals and stuff to do in fusion crafting in Thorncraft. So it's definitely necessary. One other thing I did between episodes as well is I made this time in a bottle. I've just finished making this before I started recording, and this should make a lot of the slower tasks a bit quicker. Now, I had thought that this was actually what was blocking off living wood, but this is actually from vibrant infused wood, which requires autoclaving infused wood, which is really easy to make in liquid starlight, which is not quite so easy to get at the moment. So I'm going to have to go mine for some sapphires, aquamarines, no, sapphires, yeah. Because now that I've got an autoclave, we can process sapphires into aquamarine quite easily. And then once we have these, we can actually make, there is a chicken for astral sorcery, the astral chicken, which gives us these astral enriched eggs, which then makes starlight much easier to get after that. But first we will make up the concrete, since we need the concrete for living rock. It's light concrete. And we should have everything we need. This is something else that we can make a chicken for once we've got some of it started up. And also a couple of other things. We should have everything we need for the concrete. Some clay. Getting a nice collection of diamonds from in here. Stone dust. And some water. All we're going to need is, I think we have one set up over here, fluid solidifier. You have a plate. One of the nice things about this pack is you can chisel the plates into other plates, so it's really easy to get hold of a block mold. Should be enough to get us started. Then we can pop this around the daisy, and this should give us our living rock. Well, that was a pretty slow craft, so we're definitely going to want to try and get this done in bulk. There we go, it's the quest completed. Let's carry on over this side and do this side first. We're going to need a wisdom wood stick, which is just throwing a stick into some wizardry mana once again. You should have actually have sticks in my inventory. So what we'll do, actually have a drum of wizardry mana back there. I have some liquid starlight here, for pretty much for the same purpose. And how many of these we need, so I'll just make a bunch. Nice and easy. And we're going to want a diluted mana pool, which is made with marble slabs in the astral sorcery table. And it looks like we can craft this without even needing it to be nighttime. I'll just make a couple of these up. There we go. Okay, so it's the next day for me now, and I've been busy. I built another one of these stacked coke ovens, and now we can finally run this at 100% and get some extra creosote. It's not a huge amount of extra creosote, but it should be enough to get us started with Botania mana, which means we can the Petra Petunia? Yeah. You can use the Petra Petunia instead, which is much easier to automate in the early game, and considering we're using a reasonably temporary space, so we'll have to go find a bucket of oil, but that shouldn't be too difficult. These come from a quest reward, I'm pretty sure. And that's just some iron steel. I only get one, I think, for the quest rewards. I think you can just plant these and bone meal them, and then cut the double tall ones to double them up. Something like that. It's been a while since I've done Botania, but that will make that much easier. I also went out and I gathered up some sapphires, and I've started autoclaving them into aquamarine so we can carry on with some astral sorcery. I think the first thing that I'm going to get on with though is this Petra Petunia. Okay, so I just buried one of the petals here, and we should be able to bone meal this, and then I believe we shears the double tall, and that gives us 4 petals for 1. So this is a really easy way to just duplicate the Botania flowers. And we've just popped over to the nearest oil well that I can at least remember. It's really not that far from the base. I'm just going to grab a couple of buckets of oil, so we need it for the Petra Petunia. I know what to do it. We'll leave the rest here just so we can find the vein later for when we want to actually harvest the oil. Okay, so now that we have the oil and the white petals, the next thing that we need is this fighter grow, which needs saltpeter, or I think you can do it without, but you need apatite, and I don't have either of those. And saltpeter can be made in the autoclave with just some salt and some liquid starlight. So we just do that first. I forgot the salt. Okay, now with the salt, I'm never properly prepared. I should be able to do this. And this doesn't use too much of the liquid starlight, so I can actually use it to process this in 5 seconds rather than 100 seconds in small amounts, so it should let me get more aquamarine pretty quickly as well. And we can use the aquamarine to get starlight for now, so it's doesn't even really cost us anything. And we should have everything we need now. We just need to make this dynamic tank. Really easy to craft. We need to make some Vitagrow. That's the wrong recipe. I'm going to use this one just because it gives 16. And I've got plenty of slag from the original furnace we used for steel. And I had one of these white tulips already. These grow pretty commonly. I hadn't really been keeping an eye out for them because I didn't know I was going to need them, but now I do. So I will make sure that we grab more of those next time I see them. Just need the 2 white petals. And then it should just be these. I've got a better pair in my inventory. Yeah, it is. There we go. Petra Petunia. And I've set up a little area for it down here already. We'll just pop it here. This tank hasn't got anything in it at the moment, but when we put oil and stuff in it, this will generate mana. Now next we need a way to move the mana from here to these diluted mana pools. And actually, I'm just going to grab these from the quest rewards. What we'll do for now is we'll set them up like this. This splitter will split any mana that hits it between the 4 pools. Which just makes it nice and easy to set up. But in order to move the mana, we need a mana spreader. And this is a brass plate, glass lens, some wisdom wood planks, and infused wood. Okay, hopefully we have everything because I don't want to run all the way back up here again. But I want to try and make 4 of these. My inventory is such a mess, I really need to fix that. First of all, we'll make the lenses. It's really quick. And I believe there's lenses like that. These wisdom wood planks you can just get by throwing any planks into mana, or they also grow next to the mana pool. And you can get this infused wood by throwing logs into starlight. There we go. Hopefully I can finish this craft before the sun comes up. It doesn't say how much starlight it needs. There we go. There's 4 mana spreaders. Okay, and how do I want to set this up? I think for now we will put the mana spreader there. Should be okay. And I am actually going to need a Wander the Forest first, I think. The quest wasn't open, so let me just see what I need to do. Okay, so I just need the mystical white leaves, the wisdom wood sticks, and some crystallized mineral chunks. I think I have these mineral chunks already. Pretty sure this is what we're getting from our tree farm. And that should be the Wander the Forest. What this will let us do is link the collector to the spreader, and then the spreader, the mana spreader to this splitter. Because I should split it into these pools. There we go. Those should be linked now. Pretty sure. I grab some buckets of creosote. If we put these in here, I think it works like this. Yeah, there we go. It's consumed a bucket. Now you can see the mana pools are starting to fill up. Looks like this spreader's perfectly fine for use with this flower. And then it wants us to make a mana diamond and mana powder. The mana powder is throwing some fire to grow in, so we've got some of that. And the mana diamond, we need to throw in a flawless diamond. Now hopefully when I sifted all of that diamond ore before, I'm pretty sure we got at least a couple of flawless diamonds. I have the fire to grow on me. Yeah, here we go. 12 should be enough to get going. See, we don't have enough mana to do the diamond yet. Or to do the mana powder. It should stop showing this X when there's enough mana. If I do it right now, nothing will happen. So I'm just going to wait a little while for these pools to fill up. Yeah, now we have enough mana. I think these take about half a pool and these take about 3/4 of a pool. So these pools don't hold very much. And we need 2 of these mana dust each to upgrade these pools. So I think we'll make 2 of these straight away. And then also a couple of mana diamonds. So they're about half a pool each. I guess we might as well make another one of these. Now, I think what I'm going to do with these first is, if we just surround it with living rock, we can get a mana tablet, which will let us empty these pools out without losing any mana. We did actually get a potency lens as well from the quest, so I'm just going to throw that on there. Doesn't really need it, but if I put a second flower down, then it probably will need a lens to move the mana fast enough. Yeah, we should just be able to craft one of these now. And these are really handy just for switching out mana pools and stuff like that at the start. Use this, and if we shift click it, it will go from the pool to the tablet and again back from the tablet to the pool. So if we put these all on pool to tablet, and then we go around, throw the tablet in each of them, just so that we don't waste any of our mana, because we don't have a lot yet. You can see we've filled a very small amount of that tablet. Now that we have the mana powder, we can use 2 mana powder, some living rock, and some of this medium covalence dust, which isn't difficult. It's just some wizardry mana. We've still got our original drum of this, some low covalence dust, some redstone, and some brass in a mixer. I'm going to make a few of these up, and then we'll make our... We're only going to be able to make one because of the amount of mana powder we've got, but we'll make up our first full mana pool. And hopefully we should just be able to start this up in the mixer. I just need to quickly pulverize this. And don't tell me this is an MV recipe. No, this is indeed an MV recipe, okay. Right, well, we can make it in the work table. It's actually exactly the same recipe, so it's not a big deal. Okay, there we go. There's a few crafts of that. It'll give us plenty to get going. It is night time right now. Don't need anything else. Oh yeah, some living rock. Okay then, so it was mana powder in the bottom 2, medium covalence in the top 2. Was this, I believe? Yeah, there we go. And there we go, some normal mana pools. Okay, so now we've finished off this right side of the page. In order to continue Botania, we're going to need to make living wood. Which, as I mentioned before, requires this vibrant infused wood, which needs liquid starlight. And in order to make this in a decent amount, I'd really like to make the astral sorcery chicken, so we will get that done today. It's astral chicken, and all we need for that is covalence dust, aquamarine, which I've been making, infinity dust, and a smart chicken. So this is a really easy craft. Okay, and here we have everything ready to make our astral chickens. There we go. And I'll get these bred up to 10-10-10 between episodes and set up a way of automating this liquid starlight so we can start using it in crafts. Yeah, and I think finally today I'd like to have a look at this logistics system. This is basically like a very dumbed down version of applied energistics for us. And since we're not going to be able to get applied energistics for a while, I'd really like to be able to get this set up now. Now that we've filled more than one of these modular storages, it's going to get more and more awkward to do crafts. And to start off, we need this power junction, which is just a circuit, a logistics block frame, which is just red alloy foil and a machine casing, and 2 of these redstone reception coils, which are really easy. Yes, that should be everything we need to make the power junction. I did make some extra of these logistic block frames, because I think we're going to need them for some of the other machines. Now, also I think in order to power this, rather than running turbines and CFs all over the place, I think I want to look into the Spectre power network. In order to get started with that, we will need to kill spirits. They have to be killed with magic damage, but they can be summoned with Zen summoning, so I can go and grab the altar from the voids. I'm not sure what we're going to do about magic damage yet, but the summon shouldn't be too difficult. Yeah, it's just a couple of lapis, a devil dust, and a blackened spirit. That's all stuff that we used earlier on in the summoning. Okay, so slightly further down the rabbit hole we go. The best ways of doing magic damage seem to be either using splash potions, which I really don't want to do because the spirits are a bit of a nightmare, or we can make the caster's gauntlet and start looking into Thorncraft casting. And seeing as today was supposed to be a magic episode, I figure we'll finish off with this and then we'll get to the logistics network next time. So in order to make this, we first need a Vis Resonator, which takes silver plates. I also need some steel plates and some hardened leather. And then I should have everything. So I'll be right back. Okay, attempt number 2. Like I say, I'm never prepared. We should be able to make with those. We need an aqua and an air Vis crystal. Aqua and an air Vis crystal. That gives us this Vis Resonator. And then we'll need a thermometer because I don't want to use the one that I already have. Quickly make sure that I've scanned everything in my inventory. I haven't been very good at keeping up with this. Okay, and now we should be able to make this. And we need all of these crystals for that. And we have enough Vis. So there is our caster's gauntlet. I'm not entirely sure how this works. Let's have a look in the Thaumonomicon, unless the quest book tells us. Okay, this is also used for the infusion altar. We're going to need to make these blank lesser focus, which is an order Vis crystal with some things. And then a focal manipulator. And this is still stuff that we can already craft. But this is a little bit of a rabbit hole, so I think I'm going to end the episode here for today. And tomorrow, starting off, we will do some more Thorncraft and sort the spells out, and then get Spectre Power and the logistics network. In between episodes, I'll get those astral sorcery chickens bred up and figure out a way to automate Starlight so we can build up a buffer from it. I might take a little look at the Thorncraft casting, but I won't go into the logistic network and stuff like that yet. Thanks everyone for watching. If you've got any feedback, leave it down in the comments, and I look forward to seeing you next episode. Bye bye.